Okay, here's a fun one. I would promise that it's going to be a short video, but I have no idea how long this is going to take. With this mirror, nice tow mirrors, I love them. Much bigger improvement over the stock ones, a lot more function and all, but this particular one wobbles a lot. And I've already torn it apart once trying to fix it, but it's basically, of the 3 attachment points, it's the one up here. You see how much that moves. So by the time you're out here, that's a lot of wobble when you're running down the road. So, to take it apart, all I really need to do is remove that sail panel. Oh, that foam block in there's fun. I get that foam block out, I've got 3 screws in it, and this one up here is the one that's just not holding as well, which is kind of not, it's kind of concerning because that is where the reinforcement bracket is at. The hardship is trying to do this without having to remove the entire door panel. You got to make sure you catch all these nuts. So they fall down in there, you're removing the door panel. The other thing I'm worried about is I'm not sure exactly where the wire disconnect was on this side. If it ended up down in the door or if it's over here once it comes through the door. Which it might be. If it does, I may take the time right now to change that over such that the disconnect's up over here somewhere. So let's get into it and find out. So I was thinking ahead for some of it. I've got some slack here. You can see down in there. There's the connectors for it. But the problem is the additional lighting that I added, I did not leave enough slack for it. And right, wrong, or indifferent, I used, because I needed negative and positive for it, I used speaker wire for that portion of it. Since I got a ton of that around. So that is not a speaker leg. Those are. Those all come from the amp. That's part of the turn signal wiring. I try to keep this whole bundle together. I'm looking at how to take this apart. I'm probably going to have to take that leg and lengthen it just so I can get some slack in here. I'm thinking with this much slack I should be able to drop it down on top of this bucket on the table. And that way I can get to work on it, because what I'm thinking I need to do is whatever this is mounted into on the mirror, I'm going to try and JB weld it back together, try to glue it back in and keep it solid. I'd rather do that than having to go buy a whole new set of mirrors just because the stupid mount broke. But let's see if I can repair this. Alright, so I spliced in a little bit more length, which if I was actually doing speakers I wouldn't like that because it's introducing more points of failure in it, but this is just, you know what that light comes with is tiny wire. That speaker wire is kind of on the overkill side, but now that gives me the loop I need to be able to dismount this mirror and set it on that bucket. Now the hard part, we get all this undone. But it's exactly what I feared. You got a steel bolt piece, you got a cast aluminum bracket, and it has totally stripped it out. I was able to tighten that back up because it had come out, and I was able to tighten it back down. This time though, it's not going to work that way. So I'm going to see if I can dump a bunch of freaking epoxy in there and then stick this in there let it dry up for a couple hours, then put it back on. But yeah, just cast aluminum. The other option would be to actually pull this entire bracket off, but I'd be kind of wary of doing that, because the more you pull screws on and off, you got plastic and cast aluminum, the more you're risking wrecking the other threads. I'm not sure, because my thought would be to get to the back side of this and actually nut it on there, but that wouldn't be deep enough anyway. It's only made to catch those threads just like these ones are, and those ones they're holding solid. Yeah, let's see what we can do with this one. Epoxy in the threads, and since I had a bunch of it left, put it all the way around. So it's around every bit of it. Let's see if this holds. The stuff says it's got a 3,700 pound holding strength, but I have my doubts as to whether this is going to be a long-term solution or not. We'll see. As far as I know, I can't get this bracket part, which would be the ideal way to go about this. And if this doesn't hold, I end up buying a whole new set of mirrors, which kind of a pain in the butt, but that's what you get. It's cast aluminum. Tell you what though, before I'd go buying a whole new set of mirrors, I'd totally dismantle this part and see if I can nut it from the back side with a piece of all thread. That'd be the way to go about it without having to buy the whole new thing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this works. Alright, we got it back on. That epoxy took a lot longer to dry. It is November, right before Thanksgiving. And this one I definitely did very carefully by hand, snugging it up as much as I dared because I don't want that epoxy to rip out. But it is not wobbly anymore. We'll see. I'm not moving the truck. We'll shut the door gently and just let it rest overnight. Kept the garage door open because this garage door is south facing, so it warmed it up in here pretty good, but it's going to get cold at night. So doing the best I can with what I've got when I've got it. Sometimes you can't pick the weather when things break. I just need to put all this back together, so that panel goes there. Screw that panel back on top of it, that sail panel, that foam block back here, and it's done. So we'll see. With this, if you don't want to buy a whole new set of mirrors, this is a method. We'll see how long this method lasts. So come this far, hope it did you some good, and appreciate you watching. Don't forget to check out Rocky Mountain Redneck on Instagram, and we'll catch you on the next video.